The sun hung low, a golden disk melting into the horizon as the taxi wound its way along the Grenadian coast. Sandrine Moreau, fresh from Port-au-Prince and emotionally exhausted from her hospital rotation, stared out the window, her stethoscope still clinging to her neck like a noose of responsibility. She was 25, brilliant, beautiful, and utterly burned out. This retreat, mandatory, remote, and tech-free, was sold as an unplugged healing sanctuary for Caribbean professionals. But Sandrine knew the truth. She was being exiled after an explosive fallout with her supervisor over a misdiagnosed patient. The scandal had simmered quietly beneath the hospital walls, but the whispers never stopped. The retreat center, perched above a private cove, was more monastery than resort. No Wi-Fi, no phones, no distractions, just ink, paper, and sea breeze. As Sandrine checked in, she caught sight of a tall, broad-shouldered man at the front desk, laughing with the host. His voice had a lilting Nigerian accent, and his smile was reckless, like someone who enjoyed breaking rules. He glanced over his shoulder, locking eyes with her. A slow grin curved his lips. "You look like you carry more secrets than sunscreen," he said, before turning away without waiting for a response. That night, Sandrine found an envelope slipped under her door. No name, just her room number, written in cursive, and inside, a single sheet of creamy stationery. The letter read, intrigued, "You seem like the kind of woman who keeps her walls high and her mouth shut. Thoughtful. I wonder what would happen if someone found the cracks in that mask." It wasn't signed. Her heart thudded. She should have felt violated. Instead, she felt seen. The letter haunted her through breakfast. Sandrine ate alone at a seaside table, the wind catching loose strands of her braided hair as waves smacked the rocks below. Around her, other retreat guests chatted politely over mango slices and sorrel tea, but her mind reeled. Who wrote it? How did they know she was hiding something? She replayed the moment she saw him, tall, dark-skinned, with a writer's presence, somehow both grounded and electric. His words echoed, "You look like you carry more secrets than sunscreen." Was he the letter's author? It was arrogant and intimate, just like him. She returned to her room to find another envelope. This time, the paper smelled faintly of sea salt and clove cigarettes. The second letter was bolder. "I imagine you walking alone on the beach, pretending the world is not watching. But I see the flicker behind your eyes. Something hurts you, something you won't speak about. Why don't you?" Her breath caught. Whoever he was, he didn't play gently. Sandrine wanted to rip the letter in half, but instead, she pulled out the results parchment and wrote her reply. "You know nothing about me, and yet I kept your first letter. That must mean something. If you want answers, start by offering something about yourself. Your name would be a good start." She tucked the letter into an envelope and, unsure what possessed her, slid it under room 3's door, his door. That evening, during a guided sunset meditation on the bluff, he sat beside her, though no words were exchanged. The sky burned with deep reds and oranges as the group hummed a soft chant. His thigh brushed against hers. She pretended not to notice, even though her skin tingled where they touched. After the session ended, he leaned close and whispered, "Room 3, huh? That narrows it down." Then he walked off barefoot, leaving her heart pounding. Later that night, a third letter arrived. "My name is Ayo. Nigerian born, scandal wrecked, writer by need more than choice. I came here to escape my own mess, an affair with a married publisher, her husband's wrath, and my latest manuscript being burned in a drunken rage. Now tell me, Sandrine, what are you running from? Her knees buckled slightly as she read it. She hadn't told anyone her name yet. How the hell did he know? Sandrine stared at the letter for hours, her fingers tracing the bold signature, Ayo. The name clung to her lips like honey laced with poison. Nigerian born, scandal wrecked, a man unafraid of ruin, and he knew her name, without introduction, without pretense. Her instinct screamed to pull away, but something darker stirred in her, something tired of the polished facade of professionalism and polite silences. She waited until dawn to reply. Her hands trembled as she wrote. I wasn't always a cautionary tale. I used to believe in saving lives. I lost that after I misdiagnosed a patient. He died. A boy, 14. I reported the mistake. They said it was brave, but their eyes screamed weak, reckless, unfit. My superiors told me to take time off. Reflect, they said. That's why I'm here. Not to heal, just to disappear quietly. She folded the letter and slipped it under his door. But this time, she didn't retreat to her room. She waited in the corridor, barefoot, heart drumming. When Ayo opened the door, shirtless, ink stains on his fingers and chest, glistening with sweat, she froze. You came to deliver your confession in person, he asked, smirking. I didn't plan to wait, she lied. And yet here you are. He stepped aside, inviting her in. She didn't move. I don't sleep with mysterious men who write poetry like daggers, she said. I don't sleep with women who run from themselves. A pause. The silence paused. Then she asked, How did you know my name? He shrugged. I saw it in the guest book. But the rest I guessed. You wear guilt like a second skin. Sandrine narrowed her eyes, unsure whether to be impressed or unnerved. You're arrogant. And you like it, he replied, then shut the door between them, gently but deliberately. Later that afternoon, a scandal broke in whispers across the retreat. A local staff member, Tanya, had been fired for sneaking a phone into the no-tech zone. Someone claimed she'd been caught in a compromising position with a guest. No names were given, but eyes shifted subtly toward room 3. Sandrine cornered Ayo at the hammock grove. Did you sleep with her? He didn't flinch. No. Then why are they talking? Because people love a good villain, and I play the role too well. And what role do you think I play? She asked. He leaned in, so close she could smell sandalwood and smoke. You're the forbidden kind. The kind men write sonnets about before they ruin themselves. She swallowed hard, backing away. But not far. That night, her door bore no letter. But her pillow did. Tanya kissed me. Once. She tasted like secrecy and shame. But I didn't let it go further. I wanted to, but your face was the one in my head. And that scared me. Sandrine's breath hitched. For the first time in weeks, tears spilled down her cheeks, not from guilt, but from the thrill of being seen, really seen, by someone just as ruined as she was. She didn't sleep that night. She wrote, "I'm not afraid of you, are you? But I am afraid of what I'm starting to feel when I read your words." The rain came down like a baptism, thunder rolling in from the sea just as the power flickered out across the retreat. The staff rushed to light hurricane lanterns. Sandrine stood at her window, watching the ocean rage. She clutched Ayo's last letter to her chest like a relic. She hadn't responded yet, not because she didn't know what to say, but because she feared she'd say too much. A knock interrupted the storm's rhythm. No envelope this time, just Ayo, soaked and shirtless, his linen pants clinging to him like a second skin. His eyes searched her face. "Thoughtful, no words tonight?" he asked. "They never come when it matters," she whispered. He stepped inside without permission. She didn't stop him. Lightning cracked overhead, illuminating the tension pulsing between them. His gaze dropped to her lips. "Do you want me to leave?" "I don't know what I want," she admitted, "but I know what I don't want. I don't want to regret anything tomorrow." He moved closer. "Then don't. Say yes or say no, but say something real." She leaned forward, their breath mingling in the thick, humid air. "I'm tired of being safe," she said, "so do something dangerous." His lips met hers, hard, urgent, a crash of storm and surrender. The first kiss wasn't gentle, it was devouring. The second was slower, reverent. The third, deeper, darker, was a promise wrapped in sin. They didn't make it to the bed. The hardwood floor bore witness to their recklessness. The next morning, sunlight sliced through the clouds like guilt. Sandrine woke to find herself alone. No letter, no note, only his scent on her sheets and the echo of last night's moans still trapped in the walls. In the communal kitchen, retreat goers sipped lemongrass tea, pretending not to notice her swollen lips and tousled hair. But she saw it in their eyes. Someone had heard or seen. Ayo sat at the far end of the patio, sketching something furiously into a leather-bound journal. She approached, cautious. "You disappeared." He didn't look up, needed to write it down while it was fresh. It. The way you kissed me, the way we burned. Her cheeks flushed. "You're writing about us?" "That's what I do. I turn chaos into prose." "You knew that." Sandrine sat beside him, brushing a finger over the lines he'd scribbled. Her eyes froze. "Who's Amaka?" He stopped writing. Ayo closed the journal slowly, his jaw tight. No one important, but she saw it then, the way his pupils flared, the twitch in his cheek. He was lying. Is she the married publisher? No. A pause. She's worse. Sandrine stood, pulse racing. "You said you were done with scandal, done with her." He grabbed her wrist. "It's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is." "She's here," he said quietly. "Amaka. She arrived last night. She's not on the official guest list, but I saw her, room 12. Sandrine's stomach turned. "You said you didn't sleep with Tanya. Were you telling the truth?" "I didn't sleep with Tanya," he said, then added, but I kissed her to forget Amaka, and I failed. The betrayal wasn't physical, it was emotional. Sandrine felt it in her marrow. That night, she didn't write a letter. She burned all of his. The next day passed in slow agony. Sandrine kept to herself, drifting through yoga sessions and herbal baths like a ghost tethered to flesh. She had burned Ayo's letters after sunrise, watching his words curl into smoke, as if purging them could erase the way he made her feel. But ashes couldn't kill memories. Not the sound of his laugh, not the taste of him still on her tongue. Everyone buzzed about the arrival of a mysterious new guest, slim, regal, with long Senegalese twist and an accent laced with wealth and warning. She barely mingled and asked for privacy during group activities. Room 12, Amaka. Sandrine didn't need confirmation. She saw it in the way Ayo watched her from across the courtyard, guilt masquerading as detachment. Later that evening, while most of the guests gathered for a moonlit bonfire, Sandrine skipped the event. She walked barefoot across the pebbled paths, heart pounding as she stopped in front of room 12. She hadn't thought this far ahead, she just wanted to see her. This woman who lived in Ayo's past, this woman who still had her claws in him. She knocked. A moment passed before the door cracked open. Yes, she was striking. Mahogany skin, cheekbones sharp enough to slice glass, and eyes that held too many lifetimes of knowing. A silk robe clung to her body, and a lit cigarette dangled from her fingers. "I'm Sandrine," she said. "I believe we're entangled." Amaka smiled faintly. "Ah, you are the hurricane he tried to write away. I'm not interested in a fight." "That's good," Amaka said coolly, taking a drag. "Because you'd lose." A silence stretched between them, electric and uncomfortable. "Why are you here?" Sandrine finally asked. Amaka exhaled smoke slowly. "Because men like Ayo think heartbreak is a story they control. I'm here to remind him that sometimes the plot belongs to the woman." When Sandrine returned to her room, there was a letter on her bed. Not from Ayo, but from Tanya. He does this. He writes women into corners and calls it passion. I thought I was different too. You deserve to know that the day after you two connected, he offered to read me a chapter about a woman who looked suspiciously like you, then kissed me like you never happened. I left because I couldn't be her. But maybe you still can. Just know the pen he uses writes everyone in invisible ink. They disappear as soon as he moves to the next page. The paper trembled in her hand. She wasn't sure what hurt more, the possibility that Tanya was lying or that she wasn't. Sandrine stormed toward the writing hut, where Ayo often spent hours, drafting alone. He was there, hunched over his journal by candlelight. She slammed the letter in front of him. "You have anything to say?" He looked up, eyes shadowed. "She is bitter, you know that." "I don't know anything, that's the problem." He stood slowly, the table between them suddenly feeling like a battlefield. "I'm a man who ruins women with his words. You were warned." She stared at him, every fiber of her screaming to walk away. But when he whispered, "I never meant to ruin you," her resolve cracked. "You already did," she said, voice raw. Then, quietly, "You just wrote it too pretty to notice." She turned and left. Behind her, Ayo sank into his chair, ripping a page from his journal and scribbling a final line across it. This is not a love story. This is a confession written in blood, not ink. Thank you for watching and continue to share with family and friends. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video. You don't want to miss it.